Hey guys, All in Crypto here, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, for another YouTube video. In this video, I'm going to be telling you why big things are coming for Cardano. We're going to be hearing from Charles himself at the Miami 2020 conference. The video quality isn't great, guys, so just bear in mind there's a lot of background noise. He's obviously got a crowd of people around him when he's talking, and there's a bit of the crowd kind of mixed in with the audio. We'll play it. Here he's essentially just reminding you of what is around the corner for Cardano. And ultimately, guys, I think you are going to see Cardano's price do exceptionally well as a result of this. That is essentially what basic supply and demand would have you believe. So we're going to cover that. We're also going to take a look at the charts. The charts aren't really telling us too much, and ultimately we are dependent on Bitcoin. We made a longer Bitcoin video earlier discussing the possibilities of perhaps a sell-off down to sort of 26k. Or perhaps we recover and go and start to, re-enter this bull market that we never left and continue in the kind of bullish movement. So you really have two options for Bitcoin right now. You're in a sort of symmetrical triangle, which usually would kind of spill to the downside if you're in kind of a downward pattern already. Symmetrical triangles usually go the way that the market is already going, because there's no kind of decisive data within this. So we'll see what happens, guys. But what I want to do first of all, before anything, is I want to listen to Charles speak. The audio isn't great, so just bear with it. And the main point that he's going to make is right at the start, so pay attention for that. And we've discussed it a number of times on this. We've discussed it a number of times on this channel. But really, I want to drill that home to you because people get very sort of bored, very kind of lose interest in the crypto space. But the crypto space has never been so interesting, ladies and gentlemen. Without further ado, let's listen to what Charles has to say here.
On the show, the Cardano network is now run by you, not me. In 90 days, give or take, we're going to have smart contracts.
Yeah.
It is you, not me. The hundreds of applications, the microfinance, the insurance, all those things, can we do this? Can we achieve this? I'll say, well, go do it then. No one gave me permission for the things that I did. No one gave me capital for the things that I did. Jesus, guys, I was the last person in the world anybody would ever bet on. I hate people. But I love you. Because we're all different spirits in that respect. And every day you get a little bigger, you get a little bit of passion. The markets go up, they go down, but the passion doesn't dissipate. The other thing is, the Africa strategy is working. 5 million people in Ethiopia. We're going to put another 10 to 15 million every year into Africa. And Catalyst has $1 billion available.
We don't really need to play too much more. I'm sure you get the kind of overall drift. Smart contracts are around the corner. He reckons in around about 90 days. In September, which is we've already discussed the kind of rollout plan for Alonzo, which is going to complete the Goguen era, which is going to make Cardano a smart contract compatible blockchain. We spoke to you about Alonzo Blue hard fork being successful. This was relatively unnoticed news, and nobody took this seriously. Guys, I am telling you, you are on the brink of something magnificent happening with Cardano. And regardless of the price right now, and the price is literally so tethered to Bitcoin that it's just somewhat disheartening. Ultimately, I do think Bitcoin has gone through an ABC correction, and we are going to start to recover. But there is definitely the possibility of more downside. Regardless, ladies and gentlemen, understand what you're a part of. Understand that Cardano is going to, in my opinion, play a big role in the future. They're certainly the dreams and aspirations of Charles Hoskinson, and you have nothing to worry about, guys. If anything, you're just getting in at a discounted price. It always amazes me the amount of people that were going up here, I wish Bitcoin was a bit more of a cheaper price, and down here they don't want to touch it. It's the psychology of markets is a wonder to be, amazed with. So the overall market does look like it's lulling about, guys. You are going to come to an equilibrium moment with Bitcoin. It's going to happen sooner rather than later, I believe. You're either going to spill to the downside, which could just give us the buying pressure that we need to go to the upside then. Or you're just going to, sort of walk out and recover in a similar way to what you did in March 2020. This, of course, is going to have a direct effect on Cardano. You can see Cardano had broken out of its descending resistance. It came straight back under it and then back, and it's just kind of toying with it. You can see real indecision taking place here. Even with the EMA, it's not really doing much. Let's take a quick look at the daily time frame. Much and such the same story, guys. You're still well ahead of your capitulation zone. You can see these levels of resistance are still acting as levels of resistance. You did break through it, however, you just smashed straight back down. And ultimately, you're watching for a number of things, guys. And really what we're watching more than anything is what Bitcoin's doing, because that is ultimately going to determine the kind of direction of the overall market. So, big things coming. You've got the Cardano ecosystem that is currently being built. We spoke to you about the fact that we're involved with Occam Razor to hopefully try and get in early on some of these projects that are going to be built on top of their. Occam Razor is essentially an incubation chamber for Cardano projects. We think the future is bright, guys, and we spoke to you on a number of occasions about how high something like Cardano could get to, and really the sky's the limit. You have an inflationary kind of atmosphere at the moment in terms of fiat systems, and you have something like Cardano and other cryptocurrencies that are offering a real hedge against that. I mean, that is value within itself. Forget all that they're doing. Forget the financial side of things, the social side of things, the educational side of things, like we're already seeing over in Ethiopia. Regardless of the price is really what I'm trying to get sort of bang home to you on this video, because I can feel it. People are losing interest. People are very excited when things are just kind of shooting up in vertically, but when you have kind of capitulation phase, everyone gets a bit naffed off, a little bit cheesed off, and really doesn't enjoy being a part of it. But this is the crypto market, guys. Volatility is a part of any emerging market class. Cryptocurrencies are no different. In fact, if anything, they're more volatile. Big things coming. I do genuinely believe that. And we'll see how this plays out. And it's not going to be long, realistically, guys. It might take a cycle or two more until Cardano really decouples from Bitcoin and they don't move in such tangent. But right now, you are so tethered to Bitcoin, guys. It's like, you're in a Bitcoin jail, basically. And whatever Bitcoin decides to do now, and there is no one is going to be able to tell you what it's going to do with 100% certainty. That's for sure. That is something that I'm certain of. What you're essentially doing is going, what's more likely to happen? What are the probabilities on both sides? There are a lot of reasons to suggest that you are going to sell out of this, but there are just as many reasons to suggest you are going to keep going. One thing that doesn't fill me with great excitement right now in regards to the Bitcoin price is just how much good news we've had that has done literally nothing for the price of Bitcoin. I honestly believe this, guys, and I could be completely wrong, that there is a huge amount of manipulation going on here. We saw that with the Wyckoff structure. And if there is manipulation, well, why do these people not want you getting involved with these projects? And why do they have a vested interest in shaking you out? Well, I believe that's because this is the future. The same as the .com stocks and how they shook everybody out of those. I think they have done and are still doing the same thing today with cryptocurrencies. And that's something really important to remember. So that is really the bulk of what I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen. If there's any topics you'd like me to cover, we've looked at the daily. Let's take a quick look at the weekly. The weekly just shows so much strength. I mean, so many projects out here came sort of, smashed straight through their EMA on the weekly. Cardano has just stayed, still overextended. We did say that you were going to meet it at some point. That could still be on the cards, but ultimately, guys, I think that's just going to force you up. And one thing that is, made me very happy to see in regards to Cardano is the fact that it really has shown a lot of strength against not only Bitcoin, but the overall space. Yes, it moves in the general direction, but it has sold off significantly less than a lot of other altcoins out there. That is a real testimony and a credit to Cardano's strength. One reason it's so strong in that regard is because a lot of it's staked. Most people have a belief in Cardano and they're actually staking their tokens and collecting rewards on them. We're going to do more videos on how to stake. We showed you how to stake on Binance. We're going to show you how to stake on some of the Daedalus, some of the Cardano native wallets, and also things like Exodus. We're going to do some MetaMask stuff. We're really going to show you how to get hands-on in the crypto space. Remember that Cardano really only launched in 2017, or certainly became traded in 2017, which was either the right or wrong time. I don't think its potential was reached at all back here, and I think you still have a long way to go. And ultimately, guys, I still subscribe to the fact that we are in an Elliott wave theory structure. And essentially, you are just, you've made your 1 wave, 2 wave, 3 wave, 4 wave that you're in right now before you then set up for your 5th wave. And I still do have that Cardano price of round about $7.50 in mine. I still do think you're going to get to that. I think it's a matter of time, ladies and gentlemen. I really do. We got to that price prediction for overlaying Fibonacci's and looking at the Elliott wave theory. And, you know, we're still in play, regardless of what happens on any kind of short-term time frame. Until we... What don't we want to see? Well, we don't want a death cross to form on Bitcoin on the weekly. You can see you are still under your EMA, and this is kind of bringing everything, you know, gravitating everything down. You are looking like you perhaps could get a death cross. This would be bad for not only Bitcoin, but the overall space, as the overall space really just follows Bitcoin. You can see that you are making somewhat of a recovery, even if it is a bit of a pathetic one. And this, you know... We'll see how it goes, guys. But ultimately, remember what you're a part of. If Cardano does go lower in terms of price, I don't think it's anything to worry about. I'm certainly not going to be worried. I'm just going to be accumulating. Remember, buy orders, guys. If you want to get in at a certain price, even if it's a ridiculous price that you don't think you're going to get filled on, set those buy orders because you never know. We did not think we were going to get filled at like $1.10, and we did. We didn't even imagine it would go that low, and it did. We got filled on that, and now we have a nice bag of Cardano at that entry price that we never thought we'd have the opportunity to get. All I have for you in this video, ladies and gentlemen, I'm waffling on now. I'm going to leave you on that note, and hopefully I will see you all on the next YouTube video. Thanks a lot for watching, guys.